We're on? Okay, hey, this is Dr. Yates. This is my good friend Lou Manfredini.
Hi, everybody.
Always. And both of us are Chicago natives, and we have a pride to Chicago. Like, what do you like best about Chicago? If you have one thing to choose, if it was food or a place to go or something to do, what would you say?
Actually, I think it's the Midwest people because I travel all around the country, and you know, my thing is I love New York City. I think New York City is a fabulous international city. But
Okay.
Chicago is the greatest American city because you've got Midwestern people. You've got everything in Chicago that you could possibly want. You've got art, you've got sports, you've got food, you've got Dr. Yates.
I like that.
So no, it's the people that that I constantly come back to because I think that whole, there's something about Midwestern values that isn't anywhere else in the country.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime anybody can go to work when it's 20 below zero and show up on time and be happy, there's got to be something said about that. And job people, these companies have always said we like to hire Midwest people because we know they're going to show up for work. But if I had one thing to say about why I like the Midwest, other than what Lou said, it's the pizza. You know, I'm a pizza aficionado, and I'm not getting paid by anybody, but I'm going to say my favorite pizza is Lou Malnati's, the thick pizza. I love it. So if anybody from Lou Malnati's is listening, it's good pizza, okay?
Absolutely.
So what I want to talk about today is hair transplants. And hair transplants is not like magic, it's real medicine. It's called supply and demand. To do a hair transplant, you have to have the supply. Everybody has the demand because they're thinning. So Lou, we saw him about a year ago. You know, he's a very handsome guy. He's doing TV. You know, are you going to be in the new James Bond? Did they ask you?
No. Well, I'm working on it. I've got a regiment. You know, I've got to lose about 50 pounds, and they need to make me look 20 years younger. But we can do that. They're working.
He's got things on the table for the new James Bond, so that's what we're working for.
Right.
So I just want to ask you to speed things up because people know I'll talk all day. Is this? I'm going to show you this first. Is this you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, I'll hold it.
Okay. Well, this is Lou about a year ago. So we did about 2,000 grafts to this frontal area. And where did we get the hair? We got the hair from the back and the sides. And you don't get any more hair. The hair in the back and his sides didn't grow back, but we artistically took it and moved it to the front. If you don't have any hair in the back and the sides, you can't do a hair transplant. So I see a lot of pictures where people are bald and then they'll come back and they'll look like Elvis, and people say, hey, how did this guy get a hair transplant? And my answer is, I don't have a clue. You know, I don't have a clue.
Right.
You know, because you can't get something from nothing, okay? So, the other thing, I watch Lou a lot on TV, and I've seen the progression of his hair in a year, and it's been gradual, where people now, do they say anything?
Well, I mean, it's exactly what you mentioned to me when we first sat down. You said that after this is done, you know, after the initial phase of it growing in and you're healing, people that you don't see for a while are going to say, hey, you look pretty good. You know, have you lost weight?
That's always the first thing
you look good and this and that, you know, and for me, and I mentioned this to you, that when I did this, I was going to own it. I wasn't going to try and hide it from anybody. I know that you're very discreet with many of your clients who don't want to, you know, publicize it at all. But I'm in the credibility business, and the fact that I'm on television in the public eye, when we kind of hatched this whole idea, and I was apprehensive, I have to be honest with you, I was really questioning whether or not I wanted to do this. I thought, am I doing this for vanity? Why do I need to do this? You know, I've always been this guy that is like, hey, this is who I am, and you know, whatever. It's not going to make a huge difference. But I got to be honest with you, I feel so much better about myself in what I do, and the fact that, yes, I am in the public eye, but even if you're not, you know, this doesn't hurt anybody. It was, you know, everybody's like, oh, is it super painful? And the way that I've described it is when I left, I would say for the first couple of days, it kind of felt like a mild sunburn. It wasn't anything like, wow, this really is painful and I can't believe I did this. And you guys were great about the follow-up and if I had any questions. And the results, literally, and you were very honest about this, the fact that, hey, initially, you're going to actually think you have less hair. And then all of a sudden it starts coming in, and within probably like 6 months, I was like, wow.
This guy wasn't playing.
Yeah, I started to look, and then a year later, where I'm at now, I mean, we shaved the head here this morning, but...
And you can't even tell we took any hair.
That's the amazing part.
That's the whole key. Because a hair transplant is two things. It's work here and work here. You know, so a lot of people don't know a lot. Well, a lot of people do know a lot about Lou, but I watch him every Friday on WGN with Ron Baumgartner on Mr. Fix-It.
Right.
And he talks about everything. You know, things, I mean, I can't even name, like weed whackers, let's say what, vacuum cleaners,
Right,
anything.
sure.
He used to be the spokesman for the Rug Doctor.
Right.
He also has a show called House Smarts, which is in its 10th, 11th season, right?
11 seasons, right?
Right. And that's a great show. I mean, he knows everything about everything. You know, the thing that a lot of people don't know, I remember once, this is before we knew each other, you sang the national anthem at the Cubs game. A couple of times, right?
I did 3 times.
She sang it 3 times.
Yeah.
And as a lot of people remember, Roseanne Barr got in a lot of trouble because she sang the national anthem. She tried to be funny.
No.
You know, and
can't mess around with the national anthem.
That's sacred. That's holy ground.
Right.
And do you know, if you had to guess, how many Americans know the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner? I mean, if you had, I mean, as a whole, like a Jay Leno question. If you took out and said singular, how many know?
Well, I think you'd probably be disappointed because.
About what percentage?
I'm going to say 30%.
Okay, that's almost right. 40% nationally, you know the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner, and it's a very difficult song. And everybody, I think, like, what year, like Blanca, when did they teach you that song? 6th grade, 3rd grade?
I wasn't born here.
Oh, Blanca was from Mexico. Okay. But she knows it now because we sing it from when we're bored. When we're bored, sometimes we just start singing the Star Spangled Banner. We say, "Hey, just break into it," you know. But it's a very complex song, and I always quiz my kids on it. The Star Spangled Banner is weird because it's a song about somebody sitting on the docks watching the British shoot bombs at a fort. You know, that's all the song's about. This fort's being blown up, and then this flag is still waving. So it's, if you understand something, it's easier to, you know, so if you have to think about the lyrics and you're trying to say them, just think somebody's blowing up a fort and there's a flag waving, and you can kind of take it from there. So that's, you know, Francis Scott Key, you know. So it's a fascinating song. So when I heard you sing it, you did well.
I did.
You know? And you did it recently. Was it the last time was when?
Actually, the last time I did it was 06, and I did it with my producer, who was actually a singer, and it was a last minute thing. They had someone cancel, and they called us literally that morning.
So you knew the words.
Oh yeah.
See, he knew the words. No problem.
No problem.
Nobody standing over there with big cards.
No.
You're just looking like that. No, you did great. You did great. But back to his hair. His hair is great, and I always do video because what do I say? You can make your hair look as good or as bad as you want to, and all you have to do is go to those hair blogs and look at those guys wetting their hair and saying, "Oh, I had a hair transplant and this guy is terrible," because half those guys, and I don't mean to be mean, when they come in and you comb their hair is beautiful. So you can make your hair look as good, bad as you want, glass half empty, half full, okay? And shooting a picture is meaningless now because everybody knows anybody now can look like Halle Berry on a selfie, or Sophia Loren, or throw me out a name, or Kim Kardashian. Anybody, you know, so a picture now, all you guys online who live and die by these pictures, I want you guys to really think, you know, because you're smart people. I want you to think about what you're saying when you come in here and look at these pictures. When you see a video, we can't do anything to alter what he didn't have up here. I can't filter it. I can't red dot it or slap chat it or whatever you guys do. I can't do all that stuff, you know. So video is very important. So bottom line today, what we're going to do, we're going to work a little further back in the crown, you know, just to kind of even things up here. And we're going to work a little bit in the front for the hairline, just a little bit. His hairline's rocking because it's perfect. But you can always, our motto is more hair is better, and I believe in that, you know. And a lot of guys are, I heard some guys say, "Hey, you're just preying on vulnerable bald guys by saying this kind of thing." You know, nobody's vulnerable is something you make yourself. You know, I can't make you vulnerable. All I'm doing is stating a fact. If you like your hair being bald, that's up to you. You know, but if you want to be vulnerable, that's up to you too. You know, if you want to be bald, be bald. But I think people with more hair look better. That's just up to me.
There is a Sheryl Crow song, and there's a line in the song that says, "If it makes you happy, how can it be so bad?" And so I've adopted that whole philosophy. And for me, personally, I got to tell you, I feel better about myself. I feel more confident. I mean, it's not anything that I've ever... I've never been a lack of confidence, no matter what it is.
Yeah,
but I just feel more sure of myself. And I literally wake up in the morning and my hair is standing up, which for most of my life it never did that. And I joke about this. I look in the mirror and I'm like, who's that guy?
Right.
And you know, and even my wife, who obviously I've been married for 27 years, she just kind of giggles sometimes. She looks at me and is like, it is unbelievable how much different you look. And
she's probably getting nervous now because when you guys go out to black tie affairs and you got this hair.
I mean, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, well, I know that.
I got to carry a stick now. I got to beat him away.
Yeah, and you got a whole new crew,
right?
You know,
right?
Like Lil Wayne, all them beating people away. You know. So those are the benefits of a hair transplant. You get a whole new crew. You get to beat people away, more confidence.
Right.
You know, things like that. So we're here in Chicago, you know, and we'll shoot more videos, but it takes a while for the hair to grow. So it's not magic. This is real science. So see you soon. And oh, you were a theater major too, right?
I was.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing I didn't know. He was a theater. No wonder he's so good on camera.
Wow, thank you.
You know?
And now I have more hair.
And I'm not a theater major. I'm not saying I'm good on camera, but I went to Kenwood High School. So for all the people from Kenwood, this is to Kenwood Broncos. It's a great school.
It is a great school.
Thank you.